นิมนต์เอ็นซีplease ยกคนไหนยกคนหาถ้าไม่งั้นผมจะให้อาจารย์โสรัตน์
สมาชิกมากกว่า
ที่มันเดี๋ยวเราต้องไปจากไหนไม่ขอทำต้องถามว่าเราจะได้ตอนนั้น เอาแค่คนที่ให้อาทิตย์ก็จัดเลยแล้วก็เชิญก็เชิญ
ขอบคุณครับอาจารย์ครับอาจารย์สรัตน์ครับอาจารย์อยู่ในซูมนะครับ
พอดีผมต้องไปต่างประเทศคืนนี้แล้วยังจัดกระเป๋าอะไรยังไม่
อาจารย์ได้ยิ
ได้
นไหมครับ
ได้ยินฮะได้ยินผมป่ะได้ยินผมชัดเจนป่ะฮะฮัลโหล
อาจารย์
ฮัลโหล
ลองพูดด้วยครับอาจารย์พอดีทางนี้ไม่ได้ยินเสียงอาจารย์ครับ
ได้ยินป่ะฮะเครื่องหมายมันขึ้นว่าไมโครโฟนผมทำงาน
ยังไม่ได้ยินเดี๋ยวปรับระบบนิดหนึ่งครับอาจารย์
ฮัลโหล
ตัวนี้จะมิวไว้
แต่ผมได้ยินอาจารย์ชัดเจนฮัลโหล
ครับยังไม่ได้ยินครับอาจารย์ครับตอนนี้
ได้ยินป่ะได้ยิน
ครับ
ป่ะได้ยินป่ะ
อืม
ฮัลโหลฮัลโหลฮัลโหลเสียงผมเข้านะฮะเสียงผมเข้า
ลองพูดสิอาจจะ
เสียงผมเข้าคือตัวไมโครโฟนบน
ได้ยินเนาะ
ซูมผมมันบอกว่าเสียงเข้าฮัลโหล
ยังไม่ได้ยินเสียงครับอาจารย์ครับเดี๋ยวรอแป๊บนึงครับอาจารย์
ได้ยินป่ะได้ยินป่ะได้ยินป่ะ
ได้ยินแล้วครับอาจารย์ครับอาจารย์ได้ยินฝั่งนี้ไหมครับ
ได้ยินชัดเจน
ก่อนครับนะครับตอนบ่าย
เริ่มเลยป่ะ
ครับ
ฮัลโหล1 2 3 1 2 3
ครับได้ยินชัดเจนครับอาจารย์ครับ
ครับ
ครับ Good afternoon ครับอาจารย์ Lecturer in the afternoon sessions we will get the lecturer from the professor so
Recording in progress.
in the topic is the academic work and require quality level for academic ranking in philosophy and related field นะครับ I would like to invite Professor Dr. Sorat ครับ give the lecture to IBSC lecturer ครับอาจารย์ครับ please ครับอาจารย์
Okay, I think you can hear me, right? I'm sorry that I have to appear on Zoom because this evening I have to travel to Vienna, Austria for a conference. I have just come back from Taiwan last week, and this week tonight I'm going to Austria, so pretty busy week. All about AI. Last week was about AI, and the meeting which will take place this Thursday in Vienna is also going to be about AI. So everybody is talking about AI nowadays. I'm going to talk about the topic that was requested to me. At first, I thought I would be able to travel to IPSC, to appear in person, but not on second thought. I think it would be better to stay home and prepare for my travel. I have not finished my packing yet, and I have to travel. I have to leave home around 6 o'clock, which is the time where we have a lot of traffic jam. So it's better to leave early. I'm going to share my screen. So I think you can see the shared screen. Quality level for rankings in philosophy. So there are two parts of my talk. This is the first part. This concerns more about academic ranking in philosophy and in other fields. So that we can understand what is going on in the area where a lot of people are talking about, which is ranking of universities and also ranking of academic departments, ranking of particular subjects such as philosophy and other fields, and how do they do that, and how much should we pay attention to all this. These are important topics because either we love it or not, we cannot live without it. So by paying serious attention to how universities are being ranked by these ranking organizations, we can use this as a way to improve the quality of the institution of our university, of MCU, and of IBSC, and of the programs that we are working with. So in a way, it's good. The kind of ranking that is taking place has taken a lot of criticisms by almost everybody, because it entails that people have to compete with one another all the time, and it can get like serious, can get depressing sometimes. But in a way, we can look at the whole thing in a more positive note. It reflects what we are doing. So we can look at this system of ranking as a mirror in a way, so that we can see ourselves and see how others are perceiving us, see how others are thinking about us. So, for example, MCU, right, or IBSC. MCU has entered the ranking system, and we shall see later that MCU has been recognized. MCU has been recognized by one or more of these ranking organizations. So what we are doing has some repercussions, has some consequences, and one of the clearest sign of this visibility is that by being ranked, by being recognized by these numerous ranking organizations, we are becoming better known. Not only in Thailand. In Thailand, it's a done deal. Everybody knows about MCU, Mahachula in Thailand. In Thailand, it's not a big matter. But what matters is the fact that people around Thailand, people in the region, in Asia, and in Europe, and in the US are starting to know that Mahachula exists. And the good thing about this, is that they will start to, maybe they will contact some of us for collaborative research. They will start inviting some of us to their conferences, and younger generations, students will start to come in and would like to enter our teaching programs here at IBSC and MCU. So the ranking system has its positive advantages in this way. So these are the ranking organizations that I have mentioned. The first two are the most famous, THE, Times Higher Education Ranking. Times Higher Education is a branch of the newspaper Times in the UK. And they have an offshoot doing news reports on higher education. So they are known as Times Higher Education. And in recent years, they have started, I think the best known, I think THE is the best known organization that rank universities in various ways. And they are the kind of the most recognized system of ranking in the world, but they are not the only one. The other organization is QS. We can see it here. And they have a website here, or not here, I'm sorry, this is Times Higher Education. So I have to change this a bit because we are going to have a look. So it's topuniversities.com. Okay. So top universities, universities.com. And then there are these two, which are less well known, but sometimes they are cited by some universities when they want to see alternatives to the top two here, which is THE and QS. And here is a very important system of ranking, International Buddhist University ranking here. And we can see Mahachula ranked quite high, number 16 in the world, So we are going to see this, and we can see how we as the whole university, IBSC being part of Mahachula, how we can work so that our university is ranked higher in the system. Okay, let us look at Time Higher Education first here. You can see the website, right? Times Higher Education. THE's Impact Ranking 2024 are out now. Browse the full results. Okay. And this is the website. And what interests us is, of course, the World University Ranking. So we go here, ranking. So we see World University Rankings. Times Higher Education has been providing trusted performance data on universities for students and their families, academics, university leaders, governments, and industry since since 2004. So 20 years, they have been doing this for 20 years. We create university rankings to assess university performance on the global stage and to provide a resource for readers to understand the different missions and successes of higher education institutions. So we can go deeper into this, have global rankings, impact rankings, and so on. So we can go to the global university ranking first and look at the world university rankings 2024, which is the latest information from them, the latest ranking that comes out of THE. So this is for the year 2024, which is this year. So we can look here. You can try this by yourself, times highereducation.com and then go to World University Rankings. And then these are the top 4 in the world: Oxford, Stanford, MIT, and Harvard. So these are the world, the world's leading universities. And these 20 years, I have watched the ranking by THE and by other organizations for 20 years and more. And these are the few universities that always come up: Oxford, Cambridge, Stanford, Harvard, Princeton, MIT. These are, the universities that always come up in the top 5 or top 10 globally. The number 1 may change. Number 1 used to be Harvard or used to be Cambridge, but they don't matter, they are always in this group. So just for our information, and then we can see that most of the highest ranked universities in the world are from the US. We have 2 or 3 from the UK. And then we have China. So China is starting to come on very, very fast. So Peking University, the premier university in China, is now number 14. So which is very, very high, because we are looking at, and Tsinghua, also in Beijing, Tsinghua University, even better than Peking University. So they are like July and Thammasat in Thailand, the top 2 universities in China. Tsinghua is ranked number 12, which is very high, because there are more than tens of thousands of universities all around the world, and Tsinghua is number 12. So these are from China, but from number 1 to number 10, either from the UK, like Oxford or Cambridge, or in the US, of course, Stanford, MIT, Harvard, Princeton, Caltech, California Institute of Technology, we call them Caltech, and Imperial College, which is an engineering school from the UK, UC Berkeley, Yale, and this is the top institution from Europe, ETH Zurich. So they are ranked very high. They have been ranked consistently very high, because they are really a good school, and they produce a lot of research. So these are the top 10 or top 12 or top 13, 14 of the world. And, why are we talking about this? Even Jula, right? The top university, or Mahidol, the top universities in Thailand, they cannot dream of entering the top 20 in the world, unless the Thai government changed their policy drastically. And here, number 19, our neighbor from ASEAN, NUS, National University of Singapore, is ranked number 19, which is very, very high. Considering that they are from Singapore, not very far from here, only 1 hour or so by plane from Bangkok. and then you arrive in Singapore. And I've been there. They are doing very, very well. Our topic of discussion for today must be about how our university, MCU, could do in order to improve. I mean, we need always to improve ourselves. It might not be too realistic at this time to think about, being in the top 20 in the world. Even July is ranked by THE perhaps in number 400 or 500. So, but we can improve ourselves, and then there are ways that we can do in order to improve ourselves. And I'm going to talk about this in a minute. So this is just to have a look at the top 20 universities in the world, right? Okay, now what is interesting is their methodology. So what data they are using in order to rank these universities. So we can go to rankings. There are a lot of rankings, reputation by reputation of only in the Middle East, or only in Asia, or only in China, or only in Japan, in Africa, and so on. So they are trying to expand their scope. Oh, I have put the methodology in the slide, so we can come back to the slide. Okay, you can see the slide, right? Now we go to QS. QS is the competitor to THE, and my former university, Chula, likes QS very much because Chula has been ranked quite high by QS. So I don't know what happened behind the curtain, but Chula has been ranked, number 200 or 220 in the world by QS, whereas in the THE ranking, Chula is ranked around 400 or 500. So we can have a look here, topuniversities.com. No, I'm sorry. It is, we have to change this. Okay, this is QS World University Rankings 2025, top global universities, and we can see the top universities in the world. Not very different from the former list, right? MIT, Imperial College, Oxford, so Harvard, Cambridge, Stanford, so almost the same. In US, in THE was ranked 19. Now, in QS, they are ranked number 8, which is very, very high. And so on and so on. So we can look at July. And we can see here that July is ranked number 229, which is very good. And then my former university, they always talk about it, number 1 university in Thailand and so on. But of course, they have a lot of resources, and then a lot of people, a lot of tradition behind it. As I have said, for us at Mahachula, it's okay that we enter the system of university rankings. I don't think we can do otherwise. It is a must. It is inevitable. We must enter the system. Otherwise, we got lost. But we can use, as I have said, and I want to repeat this again, we can use the whole idea of university ranking as a means by which to improve ourselves. And in what way? And that is what I'm going to talk about. So this is QS. And July is ranked number 229. We can look at other Thai universities, other well-known Thai universities such as Mahidol. And Mahidol is number 368, so quite far from July, right? And then, for example, Kasetsat, number 781, so quite far. Or Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is number 500, so even better than Kasetsat. So you can play with this if you are interested. The website is topuniversities.com right here. And we are back to the slide. Now, Center for World University Rankings, they've been around for quite a while. And then they are not as well known as the top two here. But sometimes they are discussed, they are cited by those who are in the business. So cwur.org. Results are out now. So the top are always the same. Harvard, you get all these old universities that you can remember: Harvard, Stanford, Cambridge, Oxford. They are always, by any system of ranking, they are always in the top 10 or top 5. So we can have a look at this group also. But then this is interesting. This is for us because this is Buddhist university ranking. So only among Buddhist universities. So this is the kind of thing that we need to pay attention to. We cannot compete with Juฬा or Thammasat on in all aspects because we don't have their budget. We don't have their people and so on. But we can compete as Buddhist universities here. And then I believe that we can compete globally among other Buddhist universities in the world also. So we go here for icu.org. So top Buddhist universities and colleges in the world, right? Now, number 1 is Ryogoku University. I don't know. I have known, I did not know about this university before. It's a Buddhist university in Japan. But I know Naropa. Perhaps you know a Thai guy, Vichak Panit. He is a graduate from Naropa in the US. My dog is barking. Just a moment. Somebody is coming. Okay, nobody. And then number 4 is from Korea, Dongguk University. So I think we have an MOU with them, as I remember. but they are number
Paper.
4.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Right.
And then a lot of Japanese universities. Nihon Fukushi, Musashino, Risho Bunkyo University, Kyoto Women's University, Taisho Otani, all Japanese. And then Tsuchi University is number 15. And then us, right, from Thailand, number 16. Here. So we can improve ourselves. I mean, it depends on what we are doing right now. Tsuchi is a very big foundation in Taiwan. This is from Taiwan. And then I have just come back from Taiwan. And Tsuchi Foundation was one of the sponsors of the event that, invited me to their meeting last week. And they organized a big dinner, a big vegetarian dinner, which is very, very good, tasted very good. And they had a lot of people and a lot of money. So yeah, it's good that we are ranked, neck to neck with them. Here is us. So we are the only one from Thailand. See, 17, we don't see anybody. Now we seeศรีสะเกษ ราชภัฏศรีสะเกษ I don't know how they got here because they are not a Buddhist university, but I don't know what happened. And then ราชภัฏนครปฐม and then Mahamagud is here, which is another Buddhist university, as we know. So this is the kind of ranking that we should pay attention to. Of course, we cannot we cannot totally disregard the QS and the THE. It would be good to be ranked by them, to be in their system of ranking, because there's comprehensive global university. But for Buddhist universities, because we are specialist universities, I think we can or we should pay more attention as a whole university. And this is what the University Council of Mahachula, what the president and the deans should pay attention, because this is about the direction of the whole university. They don't rank IBSC. They rank the whole university. So if we must move as a whole university, right? Okay. Now we come back here. Sorry, too fast. Now, where does MCU stand? I have just shown you, right, number 16 in the International Buddhist World Buddhist University system. So it is here, something we can be proud of. MCU is ranked number 16 of top Buddhist universities worldwide. And then we can see here that even THE, the global ranking system, does recognize us here. So in this website, in this website, they recognize us here. Ranking is 1,000, which is okay. At least they recognize us, and we can do something to improve ourselves later on. So here, founded in 1887, oldest Buddhist university in Thailand, founded by King Chulalongkorn. 1997 was granted full university status and was renamed, blah, blah. Okay. So at least the world knows, because this is in the THE website. It's well known worldwide. Every country knows about this. So another ranking system, EDU rank, does also recognize us, which is here. Mahachula University rankings, number 7,500 something in the world, number 2,900 something in Asia, number 57 in Thailand, number 24 in Bangkok. And then, website mcu.ac.th. And then a lot of programs here. We don't have engineering. We don't have environmental science. So no. But we have liberal arts and social sciences. Buddhism is part of the liberal arts. So here, yes. So this is to show that we are being recognized by the world. So we need to do something, right, to improve ourselves even more. So the methodology used in the ranking, I talked about this. So what kind of data they are using in order to rank the universities, so that if we, as the whole university, suppose the university council and the president have decided as a matter of policy that MCU, Mahajula, must be improved in the ranking. So this is from the council. So it's a policy for all of us, faculty members in the university. So we must do something. How we can do it? We have to study the methodology. So this is the methodology used by THE system. And the other systems are not very different from here. So we can look at one. So 30% is on research. And this is perhaps the most important thing. And it's not only important for THE, it's important for QS. And I would say it's also important for the International Buddhist University rankings also. For example, Naropa in the US, they are number 2, right? They have a lot of well-known professors, and they publish a lot of articles and books and so on. So that's why people know a lot about Naropa. A lot of students want to go there and so on, because they know the professors. They want to study with the professors that they know the names already. So 30% is about research quality. Citation is 15% from 30. So citation is very important. So how do you improve citation? By publishing in journals that are indexed in the global databases such as Scopus. So we talk about that later. And research strength and excellence and influence are, 5. Each gets 5%. Strength it means how much impact or in what kind of journals your research is published in and so on. And teaching is 29.5, so almost as important as research. And they call it also the learning environment. And this is something we can improve, and is something that is very close to the real or the original mission of the university. Because we started out by doing teaching. We did not start out by doing research. We are not a research institution from the beginning. So teaching reputation, how other people look at us, this is important, 15%, very important. How other people, like other people in Thailand, when they talk about MCU, what kind of image do they have? We seem to do quite well because, we are everywhere. So, it is very difficult not to notice us. So people are talking about MCU. People are talking about Mahajula, and they seem to have, very positive image about Mahajula. This is the place to go if you want to get a good education. Staff to student ratio. I mean, how many students for one teacher. And this is a measure of teaching quality because the fewer students you have, it is likely that the more quality you can give to the students, right? In some very well-known universities such as Oxford, and they have very low student to faculty ratio. That's why they are ranked very, very high in the global system. However, some universities cannot do this because they don't get budget. They don't get much budget from the government, so they must rely on the tuition fees, on their income. Their income must rely on students, and we cannot charge students too much. If you remember the top 5, top 10, Stanford or Harvard, I mean, they charge their students way, way high, too much. For example, Harvard, $60,000 per year, which is more than 2 million baht per year. And nobody in Thailand will be able to pay 2 million baht per year, right? One semester, 1 million baht just to study. I mean, nobody in Thailand will be able to pay that. So we have to take this into consideration. So this is a weak point of the ranking system. They don't talk anything about the cost, about how much the students have to pay. Nowhere in the methodology. So this is a really big point because poorer universities that do not have as much budget as Harvard or Stanford, they cannot really compete. So it's a big problem if we want to remain in the game. But of course, we can look at the whole ranking system as a mirror to improve ourselves. That is different. So doctorate to bachelor's ratio, I mean, how many among the faculty members have PhDs? For example, if we look at IBSC, I don't know the number, but this points to the fact of how many faculty members, how many professors at IBSC hold a PhD. And the higher the number, we get higher score here in this 2% here, right? And doctorates awarded to academic staffs. Doctorate to bachelor's, I mean, this is the program. So the more PhD programs a university has, the higher score they will get. So in some universities, they don't offer PhD programs at all. They offer only bachelor's degree. They don't get very high score here because, the thinking is that by offering PhD programs, it means the quality of the program should be higher because they do research. PhDs do research than the universities that do only bachelor's level. And here, doctorate awarded to academic staff is what I said earlier, 5.5, which is big, right? How much percentage of the faculty members hold the PhD? And then institutional income, I mean, how much money you can get from the students. But of course, MCU cannot get too much from the students. Otherwise, we don't get any students at all. So this is a big problem. And, Thai people are still poor. We have to accept that. Okay. And we go on. Research environment is just like research. So 60%, 59% is devoted to research. research reputation, and research income, how much money, how much grant money. So what we can do, what we as faculty members can do, apart from publishing, we can compete with other faculty members in other universities to get grant money from outside, not from MCU, but from outside, like from NRCT, from Warsaw, for example. And if we can get quite a lot of grants from Warsaw, this score will come up, so research income. And research productivity means how much do you publish in a year? And there have been studies about Thai faculty member, in general. And the result is that Thai faculty member publishes fewer than one paper in a year, which is very, very low when you compare with the leading universities. They publish 3, 4, 5 papers in a year. So this is something we can do. I believe we can do, and we can improve ourselves, productivity. And then these are the smaller points. International outlook, IBSC is doing very well because we teach in English and we get a lot of international students. So proportion of international students, proportion of international staff, faculty members, and international collaboration measured by how many MOUs do you have with foreign universities around the world and so on. And then this is about industry, and MCU does not have any relation with industry as far as I know. So we can improve on this topic as well. Okay, now QS. As I said, the methodology for QS is not too different from that of THE, as we have seen. So we can skip this. So what can an ordinary faculty member like myself or like each of us here, what can we do? I mean, we cannot really talk about the budget. We don't have the power. That's the matter for administrators. They can decide how much to charge a student, which is, cannot charge too high anyway. Because even Chulalongkorn University, they are really rich, right? They have a lot of land, but they cannot charge a student too high because students will complain a lot and their parents will complain a lot. So it's a challenge for the administrator. But for us, what can we do? Well, we can do a lot, which is to publish a lot of high quality research. And this is the topic that I'm going to talk about next. And this can play a very significant role in helping to improve the quality of research in the university, which will translate, of course, into better ranking for the university. So how to do high quality research? Well, it is a fact. We have to publish in English. It's not that English is kind of a very good language. It's a bad language in a way. But it's somehow because of history and everything related to that, English has become the international language. When we see people from Vietnam or from Burma or from Bangladesh, we cannot speak their language. They cannot speak Thai either. So each of us, both of us, must speak English. Otherwise, we cannot talk. So it's the same for publishing in journals, because we are communicating our research findings to the world. And the world does not speak Thai. We might want them to speak Thai so that we don't have to speak English. Everybody, every country in the world speaks Thai, but that is not going to happen. So we have to learn to speak English, and then that's what I'm doing now. And then to write our papers in English. So publish in English in a peer-reviewed international journal. So this is important. Otherwise, there's no point in publishing in English. And the journal must be indexed in globally recognized databases such as Scopus. We'll talk about that very soon. Or in a book form. And the books are also indexed in Scopus. So either in journals or in books, it's okay. It's okay. As long as they are made available in the databases such as Scopus. Scopus is the most well-known, but it's not the only thing. There are other systems, other companies that provide databases for research beside Scopus. So how to do this? Well, first of all, you must make yourselves better known by the academic circles. And you can do this by attending academic conferences. And we are talking about expanding ourselves internationally. So, if possible, I would recommend that you find a way to go abroad to attend academic conferences. That will go a long way toward making yourselves known to the people who are working in the same area as you do. And then the chances that your work will get accepted by leading international journals will be higher. And that's a fact. And this is what my experience, I'm in this business for more than 30 years. So I know at least something about this. So by being known to the academic circle, you know what kind of topic people all around the world are interested in. And then you write a paper in that topic. And then the chances of you getting your paper getting accepted by the leading journals will be much higher. And then you have to read a lot, of course. That is the work of a scholar. So we are now a scholar. We don't, we do teaching, but we don't do only teaching. We have to do research also. And the research and the teaching go together. The research and the teaching go together. And then you have to find time to write. Apart from your teaching time, you have some free time. And then, read and write. And then you can send the drafts of what you have written to your friends. And then ask them to comment, to, ask them what they think about what you have written. And then your friend can help you, and then they say what they think about what you have written, and then you can improve or revise what you have written, so it works better in a way. And when your friend has his or her own writing, they can do the same. They can ask you to comment on his or her writing also, right? And then when the drafting is done, you can submit your work to the journal. So we can organize workshops just for writing research articles for publishing in international journals. So it takes a lot of time. And there are some details that cannot be covered by my talk in only 1 or 2 hours. So tips for publishing in international journals. My suggestions is in another slide, but we can go there. So tips on publishing in academic journals. Before we go on here, do any of you have any question? You can feel free, just because I'm on Zoom, so you can. I think the technical staff has the microphone turned on. You can just talk, and then if I listen, and I will pause and then answer your question. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Any question, please?
Yes.
Venerable, let me that. Professor, since your topic relating to the university rankings, right? But our focus is that how we that our research work, because we have to bring this research work for our academic position, right? Academic position, academic rank position, academic position. So I think it is good for us to do the research, because one of our, if we have a lot of research work that will contribute to the criteria that the term the time higher education, or even the QS ranking also, I think, or even that will contribute to our academic position request, I think, appointment, that assistant professor, associate professor, professorship also, right?
Yeah, it's the same. So you have to publish in international journals anyway, and that is the fastest way, the surest way to become, promoted, to have higher positions in the academia. So, for example, you have 1 or 2 or 3 papers published in Scopus journals. It's better than having a book published in Thai, because usually the people who read your works will prefer to have international works rather than just local works. But we can combine the 2 topics together, because by helping MCU, by doing good works, good research works, you can help yourselves by getting the promotion, the academic promotion. You can become assistant or associate professors. And by doing that, you help MCU also, because we're talking about rankings, right? But promotion, academic promotion, becoming associate or assistant or full professors depend very much on research. And research is a key issue when it comes to the ranking of universities, right? So, yeah, thanks for your question. And then we can come directly to the topic of how to publish in international journals or in academic journals, either in Thailand or outside. So this is here. And then here is the outline: why publish, doing research, mechanics of writing, getting it published, and choosing journals, choosing the best journal for your work, and then revision. In the morning, I have seen Ajahn Konit has sent me Ajahn Vajra's file about the new system used by the Ministry of Higher Education for academic promotion. So I don't have to repeat him, right? How many works are required and so on. If you want to become an assistant professor, how many works do you have to submit and so on. This topic has been covered already, and I think you know this very well. Now the focus is on how to get moving so that you can have your works published in good journals. So they go together. Okay. So why publish? Of course, we know the answer. Can I have I think we should have kind of a 3-minute break. I'm going to get something to drink and some coffee from myself, and then we can continue this later on. Just a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, sir. Yeah, 3 minutes break for coffee, for refreshment. Okay, 3 minutes, that's enough. Okay. Professor, 5 minutes, please. Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I got my coffee, so I can go on. So shall we go on? So why publish? I think this is an obvious question, If you don't publish anything, you don't become assistant professor. I mean, I don't know about MCU, I'm new here, but at my old university at Chula, if you don't publish anything and if you don't become an assistant professor and after 7 years you have not been granted the rank, the status of assistant professor yet, well, they don't renew the contract. So this is a big deal, very serious matter. I mean, you are out of the job. You have to look for a new work, right? So it is a serious matter. very serious matter. So that's why workshops, seminars on how to get published, they are always very well attended, and a lot of faculty members are really interested in how to improve the quality of their research, right? So why we publish. But what I'm saying here is that we need to look at the deeper reason. We have to look at the deeper reason and the real reason for publishing. It's all right that we focus on our career and on promotion and so on, but the real reason is not to get the rank of either associate or assistant professors or to become a full professor. The real reason for publishing our findings is to share our findings to the research community. So this is really important. So I can say something here. Oops. Real reason is to share our findings to the research community. So what does this mean? It means that suppose you are interested in knowing something. For example, you are a philosopher and you work on this some particular problem in philosophy. For example, on patients who are in the late stage cancer and they cannot live any longer, and you are interested in the question about meaning of their lives. I mean, how can they find meaning in their lives when they know that they have only 5 months to live? So you have an idea and then you publish your idea about what you think about the meaning of lives for end of life for late stage cancer. You don't want to keep your thinking to yourselves. That's the point. You want to share what you think, what you have found to those who are interested in the same topic. And those who are interested in the same topic comprise the research community. So you go to an academic conference on end-of-life issues, and then you present your findings. That is the real reason we share. That is the real reason we do research, and that is the real reason why we do the publications. And then becoming assistant associate professors come afterwards. If we are well known, well recognized in our own research community, then the promotion, becoming assistant associate professors come later and it will be easy. That's the point. And it's an important point that I would like us to consider, to always to keep in mind. So why publish? If you are a student, it's a requirement for graduation, of course. It's a good starting point for your academic career. It's a platform for practice. It's a means to get yourself known. And it increases your chance of getting a job. So this is for students. But for faculty members, you know, we still have this people have criticized this a lot for good reasons. This publish or perish culture. I mean, if you don't publish, you die. That's the meaning, right? For example, at Chulalongkorn University, if you don't publish, meaning if you don't become an assistant professor after 7 years, you die. You won't become a faculty member at Chula anymore. You have to find another job. So publish or perish. Not the best way to live in the university, but what I would like to suggest is this: you have to look at research as part of your identity, as part of yourselves, as part of you, something you must do, and it's something you love doing. Somebody love, swimming. Somebody love knitting, and so on. You are a faculty member at IBSC. You have to develop a love. You have to find pleasure, happiness in doing research. In that way, the publish or perish idea won't bother you too much, because it's something we do because we like it, we love it anyway. So, and we cannot deny that career promotion, becoming, as Ajahn Kondit has said earlier, is important. It's very important. Otherwise, we by becoming in the higher positions, we get higher salary, and everybody loves higher salary. So you don't get a higher salary if you remain just an ordinary faculty member. So you have to do research. And then this, I think, is the real reason, the next two, getting your findings known, as I said earlier, and then contribution to knowledge. So we can look at knowledge is a pile of valuable things, and then we put in some more piles, some more stones into the pile, which is a contribution, right? This is something that we can do for humanity, for our children, for the later generations, because they have more knowledge, they have more things to learn from, and then we are the ones who have discovered those new things that later generations will learn. So it's very, very satisfying. So doing research, several steps. These are kind of short version, because in a longer version we can spend one whole semester. I used to teach a course on research methodology and how to do research. It takes a whole semester, or perhaps more. It takes a whole career, but it can be boiled down in these steps. You have to start by choosing a good topic, and we can spend 2 to 3 hours just discussing how to choose a good research topic. I mean, I have known some people who they are faculty members, but they don't know how to choose a good topic. And at first I thought, how come that is possible? But they just don't know. They everything is clear to them. They don't have any questions. They don't have any doubts. You cannot have a new topic if you don't have any doubts. You have to start by having doubts. You have to start by asking a lot of questions. And from these questions, you can get your new research topic, the kind of topic that does not repeat what others have done already. And this is important. And when you got your topic, you start reading everything that you can find on the topic that you are interested. And, technically, this is known as literature review. Literature review means just read a lot. And you have to really read. Read a lot and take notes, and then find out how other people have said or have researched on your chosen topic, right? Or if you do some other kind of research that requires going out, so you can go out and gather and analyze your data. But you can't do this if you didn't have already your topic. And then you prepare your arguments, and then you write your first draft, have the first draft commented, and then you write other drafts, successive drafts, and then revise. And this is everything that a researcher must do. Every researcher must do this step, revise, because nobody is so perfect that they can complete the first draft as the final draft and they don't have to do any revision. No, I have not seen anybody who does not need to do any revision at all. Everybody needs to do revision once or twice at least, maybe more. And then once the revisions are done, then you get your paper in the right shape for submitting to a journal for publication. And then the peer review process comes in, and that's another matter. So mechanics of writing. Learn English, of course, sounds easy, but English is the kind of language that you cannot completely master. I know a lot of colleagues who are American or British, and they speak English in their family. English is their native language, but still they struggle with the language. Every one of us struggles with the language. So even myself, I was a student majoring in English in my undergraduate years. I did not major in philosophy. I majored in English because I was so interested in the language, and I was interested in the literature, British and American literature at that time. Even so, I am still learning English. I still have to look up new words when I come across words that I don't know. I still have to go to the dictionary almost every day. So it's learning English is something you must do day in, day out, week in and week out, year in and year out. There's no completion point of learning English. You must be willing to continue on and on and on. In scientific articles, it's not too difficult to write in English because the language tends to be formulaic. What I mean here is that if you are in the more scientific field, for example, engineering, they have a formula for writing. So they have an introduction part, an objectives part, methodology part, results part, and analysis part, and discussion part, and conclusion part. So everything is divided into neat formula. But in philosophy or in the humanities, things do not usually work in that way. So you have to learn how the style of writing in your field is, and then you have to follow the style. It's part of the education of a researcher. In the humanities, you can write in English too. Humanities meaning philosophy, literature, history. You must read a lot of stuff in English anyway. That's a requirement. Even though you are in engineering, you must read a lot of works in English. If you are in philosophy, of course, you have to read a lot of work in English. If you are in literature or in linguistics, you still have to read a lot in English. No matter field you are, you have to read a lot in English. And then when you start writing, you can ask for a native speaker. Here we have like Ajahn Frank Hoffman, right? And the editor of the journal, I met him in a meeting and another meeting here at IBSC. He's a foreigner, so ask him to have a look at your paper and ask him nicely, because they are being overwhelmed. Ask them nicely to help edit the work. That will be good. So outlining the paper. So the paper must have introduction, background, or rationale. I have just said this. And thesis statement. This is more for philosophy or for the papers in humanities. An argument, and then literature review, and objections and replies and conclusion. So this is the standard format for philosophy, for a paper in philosophy. Introduction, I mean, why this topic is important. Background, how we can put in more information about the topic. And rationale of the problem, why this is an important topic that people should spend some time, reading this paper. And then the thesis statement, what you aim to argue for. This is the most important part in a philosophy paper. What you aim to argue for in the paper, and then you present your argument, and then you present the literature review, what others have said on this topic. And then objections, you anticipate some objections. What would happen if you present this argument to someone who does not agree with you? What would their objection be? And then you present the objection, and then you present the replies to those objections. Would make your paper much stronger this way. And then you conclude the paper. So I can give you kind of, it's not 100% guarantee, but something like 80% at least guarantee that if you follow this, the chance that your paper will be published in an international journal, you mean not only Thai journal, international journal that publishes only papers in English and index in Scopus, they will accept your paper. Okay, reading the text. Reading philosophical text requires a lot of concentration and time. So if you are in philosophy, but not only in philosophy, in other fields as well, and take notes as you read. Try to understand the points that the author tries to get. So you read slowly. Maybe you need to read one or two or more times, because philosophy is such a difficult subject. First reading, you might not understand much. You come back and then you do the second reading. You don't understand much. You come back and then you read the whole thing the third time. Maybe you get a little bit more understanding. And then while you are reading, you have to critically evaluate the points. This is where you can develop your own viewpoint. So in reading philosophy, the key is not to believe in whatever the author says all the time. That would be, a no-no in reading a philosophy paper. In reading a philosophy paper, you have to be on your guard, not to be taken in by the author, because the author has a lot of ways to, convince you. So you have to be on your guard. You have to play the role of someone who is not so easy to convince, right? In that case, you will understand the literature that you are reading. in a better way than, you know, if you believe everything that is printed on that you are reading, and then you construct your argument. Take care, your argument is logical. You know, you have studied a lot of philosophy, so my example is in philosophy, but you can adapt this suggestion to your own field also, because in the general way, this is not too different either from either philosophy or history or whatever academic field that you are studying. You cannot deviate too much from the points that I am talking about here, you know, outlining, writing in English, and you don't need to focus on philosophy, or you don't need to be a philosophy teacher in order to learn from these suggestions. Okay, now getting it published. This is the tricky part. How to get your paper published. Choose the best journal for your paper. And how do you know? How do I know that this is the best journal for your paper? Well, you can look at the papers that the journal is publishing. For example, I am now editor of the Journal of the Philosophy and Religion Society of Thailand. We accept both papers, both in English or in Thai, so you can submit either a Thai language paper or an English language paper. Though the trend right now, and you know, we get more papers in English. And once we receive a submission, we look at the topic. If your topic is out of scope of the journal, I mean, if your paper does not fall into either philosophy or religion, then we have to return your paper. We cannot proceed any further. Once I got a very good paper from a well-known university in the south of Thailand, you know, very, very well written, very, very well researched. But it was in history. I mean, it's a history paper. It deals with the history of the Muslim and Buddhist relations in the southern part of Thailand. Very good paper, but it's not about philosophy, and it's not about religion. It's about history. So I have to return the paper. I mean, I felt a bit sad because, you know, I would like to publish the paper, but I cannot because it's out of the scope of the journal. So I have to return and have to write to the author. Your paper is very good, but it's not a paper in philosophy. Please submit your paper in a history journal. There are several history journals in Thailand that you can publish in. So I suggest them to change the journal, right? So I did that fast because, you know, they don't want to spend too much time waiting for the review or the response from the journal. So I don't know. I have not heard from him again, and hopefully he has got his paper published by now. So choosing the right journal for your paper is very important. And if you are in philosophy, you can consult me because, you know, I'm here at IBSC, so you can always contact me and ask me anything about, you know, which journal is good for my paper and so on. And this is a very important point because we do not want to lose time. If we send our paper to a wrong journal, maybe we lose like 1 week. We be lucky, maybe 2 or 3 months if we are not too lucky. And then revise. Of course, everybody must do this. This is the Journal of the Philosophy and Religion Society of Thailand. So you can look at the website here, and then that is one journal that you might want to consider publishing. If your topic is in either philosophy or religion. Religion means philosophy of religion or religious studies. It can be either one. So this is what I'm working with at the moment. And then this is from the Philippines. This is in Greek, Philosophia, International Journal of Philosophy. A good thing about this journal, and you can see its website here. A good thing about this journal is that it is indexed in Scopus. So it's a Scopus journal. So you might want to pay particular attention to this one. So Scopus. Okay. This one, the Journal of the Philosophy, Religion Society of Thailand is not in Scopus yet. This one is not in Scopus yet, but this one is. Okay, so, and I know the editors because I know quite a few colleagues in the Philippines. So they are on the lookout for good papers. And if you are in philosophy and if you are looking for a good place to publish your paper, then you can submit it here. Next, this is another good journal from the Philippines. This is also Scopus. It means the title of the journal is QUÍC. QUÍC is also a Greek word. An online journal of philosophy, official open access journal of the Department of Philosophy at the University of Santo Tomas in Manila, Philippines. Okay, so another good journal. I don't remember. Perhaps this is Scopus also, but you can have a look. Okay, we move on. This is the website of the journal, QUÍC, QUÍC.org. So it's always English because they are based in the Philippines and they speak English over there. And this is from India. This is a very, very good journal. I mean, it's like global journal of the Indian Council of Philosophical Research. So if you can get published in JICPR, and the nickname, the short name of the journal, oh, you are well known. People will take notice of you. You become a global philosopher, right? So you can have a look at the journal ICPR, and then you can go to the website here and then try to write a paper that fits with the aim and scope of this journal, and then try to get it published here. So the two are linked together. The first one is getting published in an international Scopus-based journal. And then the second thing, as Ajahn Kovic said, getting yourself to become associate, assistant or associate professor, the two are linked. Because if you can get your paper published in an international journal such as this, such as JICPR, the chance that you will get academic promotion, you know, to become associate or assistant professors will be much higher, and, you know, obvious. It's very, very clear. So, Journal of Indian Council of Philosophical Research, published and managed by the Indian Council of Philosophical Research in New Delhi. It's a well-known refereed journal of philosophy and interdisciplinary research. The journal had its inception in the year 1983 with Professor D.P. Chattopadhyaya, the founder chairman of ICPR, as its editor, and so on and so on. Okay. Next, conclusion. So, by way of conclusion, there's nothing here, just the word conclusion. So, I have talked about two things. You can stop sharing here. I have talked about two things. The first thing is something that does not directly concern us as faculty members, but it does concern the administrators, which is about university ranking, right? And the methodology requires a lot of research from the faculty members, from us, each of us. So the first topic is linked directly with the second topic, which is how to get yourself published in international journals, right? By publishing your works in international journals, you can help MCU, you can help Mahajula improve the ranking. This is obvious, this is guaranteed. And you can make IBSC and the programs within IBSC better known, more well known to the communities worldwide. And in that way, we can get more students. So, you know, the two are correlated. Better recognition, better research, and more students coming in. So they are kind of all related one to another. And then I have given you some tips. I mean, due to the time, I cannot give you any more specialized tips. But I'm here at IBSC, so you can ask me anytime. So this talk will complement Ajahn Vajra's talk in the morning, because he talks a lot about the requirements of the Ministry of Higher Education. You can look at the requirements, but in the end, the requirements will boil down into getting yourself published in good journals, and that's a requirement. That's the same requirement everywhere in the world, from Harvard to us to other universities in Thailand. So I think I stop here. Thank you very much. And I'm here, you know, in case you have any questions.
Yeah. Any question? Whatever. Can say no.
Ajahn, may I ask about how we can find the association or university who organize the academic conference in this field, Buddhist and religion or philosophy?
Oh, a lot. If you mean in Thailand, you have to write something down. Just a moment. So can you see the whiteboard? I'm using the whiteboard.
Yes.
The best way is to go to Facebook. I think everybody has a Facebook account, right? Facebook. And then you go to this page that I manage, Philosophy at Jula. So this page is, whenever I see announcements for conferences or anything about philosophy, I always post it here. So you can go there and then you can have a look. A lot of postings in a day. So each day there will be 3, 4, 5 announcements, postings. So this is for in Thailand, and sometimes outside of Thailand also. Okay. Another good place is this website. This is international field events. Okay. This is a place where they put up .org, fieldevents.org. This is a place where they put up a lot of conferences all around the world. Let me check this whether they because they have not seen this directly yet.
Professor.
Okay, welcome to field events. Yes.
Okay. I appreciate a lot on your for your lecture you give us. We have a lot of knowledge. Okay. I have one question regarding my full professor request, ongoing full professor request regarding the research article publication. Okay. About the research, I did it already, but now I still searching for proper publication in the journals, and I am willing to get it published in the Scopus. My question is between Scopus Q number 1 to number 4, which one that should be published, because it's not that easy to get to publish in the Scopus Q number 1, something like that, right? So what do you think Q for Scopus publication is enough for this matter?
There is no guarantee. It depends on the reviewers, and it depends on how the reviewers will look at your publication. No guarantee means I cannot say to you, oh, if you publish in Q1, you will automatically become a professor. Things do not work this way in Thailand. I think everybody knows that. But if you don't have a paper published in a Scopus journal, then what I can say is that the chance of you getting the promotion will be less than if you do. So you talk about the quartile system of journals. I think it's a good place right now to talk about this, so that we know what is going on. Just a moment, I am sharing something again. So you know this like field events and then this website. How to go back. Okay. So what we are talking about is this website. I think you can have a look at this website. It's called saimargojr.com. You can see it on the top here, right, of my screen here, saimargojr. And then you can put in the title of the journal you are interested in. For example, I'm doing works in food ethics, ethics about food. So there's a journal here, food ethics. And then I can search. And then you can go to food ethics here. Food ethics. And then you see a lot of information. But the thing that we will be interested in is here. See, food ethics Q1. Q1 means in the citation that the journal has received in the previous year. I think it's ranked in the top 25%, top 25% of all the journals in the same area. So it is a measure of how well the journal is cited by other researchers. So it's a measure of reputation in a way. So regarding your question whether to publish in Q4 is a guarantee, I have already answered. There is no guarantee. Everything depends on the reviewers, So the people at the ministry, at the Commission on Higher Education, they try to introduce the idea that in other fields, not in philosophy, but in other fields, if you get an H index, your individual H index, it requires more time to talk about that, but it's not in our area, so you can look this up yourself later on. If you have your individual H index of more than 8, then you automatically become a professor. But it does not work that way in philosophy. So you can publish, a Q4 paper. It's still better than no paper at all. So a Q4 journal is better than no journal at all. So if you publish in a Q4 paper, why not? So you can do it. It's in Scopus anyway, which means that researchers all around the world can have an access to your paper. They can know your paper, and you can fulfill your duty as a faculty member, as a researcher, by having your research findings made available to the world in that way. So it's better than having no publication at all.
Okay.
And then you asked about becoming a full professor, right?
Yes, correct.
I don't remember the exact requirement because they keep changing. But my suggestion would be that in the case of full professorship, it would be better to have a full book. I mean, a whole book. Like give you an example.
I think that it may be 2 pieces of research work and 2
Right.
books. I think this is the method number 1.
Yeah. A book. Right. This is an English language book, but a Thai book would be the same. So the best way would be the book. You are the only author of the book. You have written the whole book by yourself. That will be a good
Choice.
kind of evidence to the reviewers for them to assess your work. Something like this. But
Okay.
I don't remember how many books. I mean, that's not so important. It's important in that it lays down the minimum number. But if you can produce the best works that you have, that will always be the better.
Thank you very much, Ajahn. I get the point.
Professor Frank with us right now. He would ask you, okay.
I'm coming straight from the airport
Frank.
in order to hear as much of your lecture as I possibly could. My questions have to do with 2 features of the JIBS journal. They are recently advertising DOAJ, about which I know very little, and ROAD, of which I know even less. Would you please enlighten us about what these certifications mean compared and contrasted with Scopus? Please, I don't know. Enlighten
Yeah,
me.
the DOAJ is Directory of Open Access Journals. Best way for me is to share my screen again. So let me go to DOAJ. So Directory of Open Access Journals. It is a database like Scopus, but it includes only open access journals, meaning journals where everybody can get access to the articles without any troubles, for free and everything. So it can be an alternative to Scopus. But according to the ranking organizations I have talked about earlier, and according to most university administrators, Scopus is to be preferred than the DOAJ because in some fields, or for some reason, well, this is controversial because some very, very good journal can be found also in the DOAJ if they are open access, and they can also be found in Scopus. So they can be found, they can be indexed both in DOAJ and in Scopus. But what I'm trying to say is that according to most administrators, they prefer Scopus because Scopus looks more authoritative, because they are backed by a giant publisher, which is Elsevier in the Netherlands, whereas the DOAJ is a kind of a pro bono effort by people who would like to help the field, and they don't have any backing of giant publishers. So that's my answer. And Frank, you also asked about another database, but I didn't catch it.
What is it? Another? It's a
Thank you. I look at the copy of the related to this. Just a minute. The other journal is even less known to me. ROAD, called
Oh, I don't know about that.
of Open Access Scholarly Researches.
Open access scholarly researchers. Oh, I did not know this before. I have to look it up. So I don't know anything. Yeah. I think the key message is that we can, if you focus on getting yourself published and if you focus on your academic promotion, it is better to stick to Scopus and to journals that are indexed in Scopus for the time being.
No. And then Nanapa, you have any question? I think that will be the last question because Professor will be prepared for.
Yes, so good evening, Professor Sorat. I would like to ask about how can we choose the journal, Scopus journal that can be matched to our field like Buddhist studies or a related field like spiritual well-being or something like that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there is information somewhere that we can find on the internet that lists journals in Buddhist studies and in philosophy. In philosophy, I know more because, it's my field. And there are hundreds and hundreds of journals. Frank's journal, Asian Philosophy, also publishes works in Buddhist philosophy and in philosophy of religion, as far as I understand. So you might want to talk with Professor Frank directly about this or myself, and we can look at the best journal. And if I find something I can share, maybe I give some links to Ajahn Konit and he can, or I'm a member of the line group. I forgot line group of the faculty of IBSC. So if I found something, I share it to all of us. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. I think that's all. As the IBSC administrator, would like to thank you very much for your I think that kindness in accept my request to you because you are very busy. So I request you in a short time, and then you accept my invitation to give a talk and share
That's all right.
experience
Yeah,
in this.
anything I can do. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you. And then safe and happy journey because
Thank
you are
you,
going
thank you.
tonight. Thank you. Just give a big hand to Professor Sorat Hongradaro.
Thank you. So I have to leave now, and then I'm on the same group as I said. So if there's anything, just contact me. Okay, but I have to prepare for my trip. Okay, see you around.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I think where is our director? I think now, actually, I have nothing to say to you because since in the morning we have a lot of the first morning session. We have talked about the criteria and the procedure, how to get promoted into the assistant associate and full professorship already. I think all of you very clear. I think you're clear on the criteria and what kind of academic work you have to prepare for professorship promotion. I think that's clear for you. I think if any question, just come and approach me, or even approach Professor Sora is here, or even Associate Professor Sanu, and then we will guide you. So in the afternoon session, we have that is my point is that since you have done your well, that you get research article published in the international journal, then the benefit not just only you, but our university also. That I and director and Dr. Nandapang, right? We submit to get the university ranking in Time Higher Education University rank. Already record, professor had shown to us already. Actually, during my tenure as assistant rector for academic affairs, also I have done for the multi-rank, something like that. That kind of the university ranking also. I do hope that this kind of meeting will inspire you to do your works. And after this, I will manage. I will allot some kind of budget for maybe for the research work for you, and even for the international conference attend. Maybe you can go to present your work in international conference. That will be, I think, reputation for IBSC and for university. And you can bring that kind of work into your academic promotion. I think for today, it's thank you for your attention. I think very good, active, also participation. I think that's all. We will have another kind of workshop in the end of January. I plan to do that. I hope that you will participate again. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's all pay respect to the tradition together. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhaṃ Bhagavataṃ Abhivādemi Suvakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅgho Saṅghang Namami.
Just come and we have group photo. Professor, just come. Professor ใครตรงไหนรุ่นแรกใครจะขึ้นก่อนอ่ะปิด Professor ไปก่อนเป็นหลังป้ายอ่ะป้ายไหนไม่มีรูปเป็นหลักฐานถ่ายรูปโมหน่อยเอาโปสเตอร์มีโปสเตอร์มีโปสเตอร์แล้วก็คุณเจ้านั่งเอาเก้าอี้มาอาจารย์นั่งเอาเก้าอี้มาคุณเจ้านี่เป็นนะเสร็จโปสเตอร์อยู่ไหนที่โปสเตอร์อยู่ในไลน์อาจารย์เข้าไปไลน์ในไลน์มีเข้าไปในไลน์กลุ่ม อันนี้มือถือน้องผู้ชายอ่ะไปโต๊ะไปก็ได้ไหนอ่ะ
การเกี่ยวการทำงานเพราะว่าวันที่แจน
อะไรQR code ไปเดี๋ยวห้ามได้เหรอเด็กก็เราเอาจำรหัสไม่ได้ดิสคามมาครับเสร็จแล้วแล้วกันแค่นี้คุณแม่ไปไหนคุณแม่ต้องกลับมาลุงทิพย์ยืนให้ลึกๆหน่อยฮะเนี่ยชูนายอยู่นั่นนั่นแหละอยากand whenever yeah did you have the big like that no okay ไหมไม่ครับเอาได้บาลานซ์แล้วฮะยิงนะเป็นเจซีเนี่ยแค่นั้นแหละทำไม่ใช่ประมาณนั้นเอาแค่นั้นแหละประมาณนั้นแล้วยืนหลังไปครับโอเคลูกแต่งภาพเพิ่มลูกพี่เป็นเอาให้พักยืนเหรอเอายืนโอเคแก้วต่างพี่ว่าน้ำบังประกาศเป็นเสริมภาพประกาศก็ได้ได้บ้างผ่านแล้ว
một hai ba cái Việt Nam
เอาของเราก่อน ท่านนายพิดาwhenมันช้าง will come with you yeah taxi so this way
do not already fully covered.
I already
If you have spare time, do not forget to pay something
okay
unpaid.
and then you forget three yeah three I will talk to you what time you maybe 1:30 but okay but you up
hello Ken
no you have to finish right visa I get but just show it or paper action otherwise I have to pay the pin
I think we should be friends everything
ฮะ
เดี๋ยวผมให้ท่านต่อ
ไปด้วยกันไปอยู่ด้วยไปกับผมต้องการอาจารย์ทำไปก่อนแล้ววันที่ 1คุยกันวันที่ 1เอาวันที่ 1นะวันที่ 1เลย
Recording